Greetings, friends. In this week's gospel, Jesus tells us that we must love him above everything else, family, even ourselves. And what he really is doing is telling us to be happy, because what's a nicer feeling inside than being in love? In my letter, I told you that I was 4 years old when I first fell in love, right? Little blonde angel in Sunday school, right? But I can still remember the impact of that feeling inside. Whoa. Well, God wants us to be in love. We're made to be in love, right? Now, Bernard of Clairvaux was a monk. And he was in love. Head over heels in love with God. Okay, so he said there's like 4 loves. The first is loving self for self's sake. They might think, that doesn't sound very good, does it? No, but it's very important to love yourself. Okay, if you don't love yourself, it's hard for you to be able to, as Aquinas tells us, that we can't really have friends. Okay, if you hate yourself, and there's unfortunately a lot of self-haters going on. So loving yourself for self's sake is the first stage. That's a good thing. And Jesus says basically everybody does that by nature, unless things go south in our lives, in a bad way like that, and become self-haters. That's a bad thing. But, when God becomes real to you, you love God for yourself. I remember being at that stage. When God became a reality to me, I say, wow, God has all these promises for me. And what can I get out of God, so to speak? And I had that stage for a number of years. And that's not a bad thing, because God makes promises to us and he wants to give us presents. And so we can love God for ourselves' sake. It's not kind of a selfish type thing, but that's okay. You just don't jump into high loves. You kind of go a little bit at a time. And then there's loving God for himself. Loving God just for who he is. And that was really important in my life to figure that one out. I guess it just dawned on me one time, somewhere maybe in my 30s or something like that. I says, hey, I don't love God for what he can give to me. I love God just for who he is. That's the third level of love, and that's a good place to be. It really is. And that's just being in love with God. And that's what Jesus would have for us. Now, Bernard says the fourth one, that's loving self for God's sake. And I'm not sure where that is, but it's some sort of ecstatic place where you and God are so close together that and that in so much in union, that loving God is like loving yourself. I'm hoping for an ecstasy like that sometime, right? But I gave you this little exercise from St. Bernard so that you can see that it is a process, okay? And the loves get deeper as we follow Jesus, until we find ourselves absolutely head over heels in love with Jesus. I hope that was a little bit helpful to you. You were made to be in love no matter who you are, even if you're old and gnarly like me. Okay, God bless you. Bye.